Hey everybody, I'm Dr. Chris Perron here at Perron Chiropractic in Reston, Virginia, just a few minutes outside of Washington, D.C. And in this episode of our learning series, I'm going to discuss with you tennis elbow. Tennis elbow, one that's near and dear to my heart, not because I've had it, because no, I don't want it, but I actually played a lot of tennis when I was younger. Varsity in high school for a few years. No, not that good for college, but I played on and I enjoyed playing still. So what is tennis elbow when it comes down to it? Obviously, it's kind of a glossed over name. There's a lot of ways to create the same strain on the elbow, and it's really coming from your whole forearm and your wrist. It's actually from gripping, right? So think of all the things that we grip. You know what the most common cause that I find for tennis elbow is? A mouse. Just cupping it and clicking with that finger all day long. Because you know what you're doing? On this side of your forearm, it's your muscles that close your hand. So the muscles here extend up and they're like puppet strings that pull on your fingers to close it. And then on the back side of your forearm, those are the puppet strings that pull your hand back open. Well, if you close, tighter, well, guess what? You turn into a claw. I've literally had people come in that look like this. Yes, in the most extreme situations. Thankfully, we're typically able to pry them loose, but it takes a while if you get to that point. Trigger fingers. Trigger fingers are common. They're like, my finger gets stuck and it like almost snaps to like pull it back open. Same thing. That's your warning light to end up like this actually. And it's a sign that the puppet strings are not releasing. So they're getting way too tight chronically on your forearm and we need to open that up. What happens is the joints down here at your elbow itself and your wrist, typically they're going to get shifted, whether in both places or one end of that equation, because the strain on the muscles pulled on those bones so often, so long, so much that it literally tugged them slightly out of their normal resting position. And as soon as that happens, well, guess what? That muscle can't release, because as soon as bone A and B that are supposed to be here and the muscle in between is supposed to be that length at rest when it's not being used, and B got pulled over here, well, you can rub that muscle and you can stretch it all you want to. Dust settles, that muscle's tug of war flag, right? And it's getting yanked constantly, 24/7. Or the opposite, it gets compressed, right? B moved too close and it's stuck there. Well, now that muscle is completely compressed and you can try to stretch it, but if that joint is truly stuck, and if you have tennis elbow, trust me, it's stuck because you wouldn't still have it, then until B is put back in its proper position, it's just a matter of how much Advil, how much this. It's trying to avoid and minimize the effects. And at a certain point, you kind of can't. They will build up. So what we do is we go after the actual cause. We make sure that the joints are lined up correctly. So we get A and B in their appropriate place. Great. Now muscles, you can work correctly because you're the same length now. But then there's part two. If you've gotten to this point where you have tennis elbow, on some level you have trained your muscles really well to be uneven, tighter on this side and stretched out on the back side. So we have to give you certain exercises and different things to help the muscles also to get recalibrated, readjusted, to be at their proper balance point with each other. Otherwise, it's just going to be like picking a scab. Oh, there it is again. Oh, there it is again. There may be a time of rest that's necessary to where it's like minimizing that activity, like gripping a tennis racket. Certain things like a mouse. Well, only in the most extreme situations do we say, hey, can you go lefty for a little while? Because I know that slows things down. Most of the time you can keep doing what you do. We just need to integrate the positive parts of it as well. And over time, it overrides the system. And again, you get back to an even slate. So hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, as always, you can give the office a call, send us an email. And I'm Dr. Chris Perron. I look forward to meeting you. And please feel free to hit the like button, as well as hit subscribe if you want to find out about other conditions that we help people with here at our office at Perron Chiropractic.